Claire Saunders from What's New in Electronics on day 2 of IPC Apex, and I'm joined by Jennifer and Tim of Arch Systems. Hi, nice to see you both.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you as well.
So how are things going? The show's been good so far?
Yeah, the show's been really good.
Good.
It's exciting it's always fun to get in person with your customers and your
Yeah,
prospects.
yeah.
It's, kind of feed off that energy and feed off of the excitement that everybody has when they come to shows. It's always fun. It's been a great year, yeah.
Brilliant, great stuff. So Tim, can you just, before we talk about other bits and pieces, can you just give us a reminder of Arch Systems and what you guys do?
Yeah. So we're a provider of end-to-end manufacturing AI. So we'll do everything from data collection on the shop floor, data contextualization, and then now increasingly providing role-based AI agents that act on that data and pair with your quality engineers, your process engineers, help them root cause and solve problems faster in the factory to get your manufacturing KPIs to go up in the right direction.
Okay. So AI is something I may have heard once or twice over the last couple of days or the last year. So Jennifer, can you please tell me more about that in practice and what you're seeing?
You bet, yeah. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere, right? I think about how different it is right now than even a year ago, right? A year and a half ago, we were still getting a lot of, kind of deer in the headlights. Like, I don't even know what it would mean in my factory. Like, I don't even know that I have the right data in my factory. Where do you want me to put AI? Mm-hmm. And there's still a lot of truth to that. But we are seeing people becoming much more comfortable. I think it's because as it's becoming more ubiquitous in their day-to-day personal lives, I think people are becoming more familiar with the tools. They understand, the guardrails that can and should be up around some of the AI tools. They're starting to understand that. And then, of course, naturally looking at all of the offerings that are starting to pop up for AI across inventory management, across finance and in HR, and a lot of the areas of the business. Now they're really interested in where it can come into the operations side of the business and really, really leaning into that. And it's really fun because people are asking for, in their pursuit of not knowing what they're looking for, they are asking for the right things.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun to kind of lean into that as their excitement and their kind of trust level and their understanding has risen. It's fun to see that.
Good.
Yeah.
So what does that mean in real time? What is that sort of offering for you guys and for your clients, Tim?
Yeah, so this is something that's also been really exciting. Thinking from the technology point of view, the product perspective, as people become more excited about AI, as see what it can do in their personal life, like, what can it do in manufacturing? It's also gotten more capable, and that's happened at a very rapid pace. So you go back like 2 years ago, what could AI do for me? It could summarize a picture, summarize a dashboard. Okay, that's valuable. Go back 1 year ago, what could AI do for you? It could take spoken word and translate it to text. Okay, that's valuable. That's sort of one step, not a whole task. What can it do now? What it can do now is it can do an entire investigation for you. It can go from, here's a finding, a defect at the end of your factory line. It can comb through all of the data and make a report, a compelling report with evidence about where the root cause was. And this is now directly assisting, quality engineers with their core work. So this level of capability, which only recently became possible, is now something that's really exciting to see and has dramatically increased the scope of what's possible to do and what's possible to help people do in factories with AI.
And I think particularly in this industry, because in lots of different industries, people have different sort of ideas about AI, and it does affect and it will affect different businesses a lot more than it is in the manufacturing side. But I think for our business, we learn, and every single client here, they find a new product, they find a new way to deliver something because they ask their customers. So they're always asking questions. You're always having to, build your own AI internally and find out from your clients how I can make it better. So that I can see how it's, how it's moving on so quickly and why it's working so well in these sort of sectors.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, like you said, the discovery of all of the places where it can come in and improve their life. I mean, I think about, Tim was talking about, the investigatory work that can be done. Yeah. We think about what does that mean inside of the factory? Well, how's it being done today? It's largely being done by an expert or a quality engineer or technician having to go through a problem has occurred. They're aware of a problem. It goes down. There's time that has to be done root causing. There's time that has to be done. The investigatory work that has to go into then now improving that state. that's not what they want to be spending their time doing.
No.
They want to be spending their time setting things up and doing some of the other higher value work. And now the AI agents can come in and not just have impact at the organizational level where you're actually seeing ROI from the tool, it's actually impacting their day-to-day over and over and over in the quality of the work that they're doing literally inside of the factory each day. And we all know that there's not enough of these people to be doing the investigatory work anyway.
Yeah.
It's not that it's threatening their job. There's much more investigatory work that can and does need to be done than they can do, even if that time was unlimited, which it's not.
No.
And so having AI come in and enhance their productivity and become a very powerful tool in their hands is really, really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And did you have some sort of announcement earlier on your booth? I believe you did.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, am I allowed to ask you this question?
At our booth? I think the biggest thing for us right now is talking about people ask, where are the agents, what can they do?
Yeah.
And I think the maturation of Arch and our product over the last while, looking at the areas where we talked about the agents, right? We now have role-based agents, not just in one area, just on the equipment and the optimization. That's a very important piece. We now have agents, we have the quality agent, you have a planning agent, we've got the equipment and process optimization agents. The expansion of the capabilities along these role-based agents. Again, we're going to see that continue to grow as some of these better AI tools come online. Tim, do you want to speak? Do you have any other to add to that?
Yeah. So I think what I would say is, as we've matured as a company and formed deep partnerships with other people in the manufacturing ecosystem, we're able to then merge with their expertise. So in collaboration with machine vendors on, let's understand how your machine works in detail with your engineering team. Let's talk to an MES provider. Let's understand your data model, how you see factory production. Let's see if we can pull that into an AI agent. And then now you have an AI agent who deeply understands the equipment, deeply understands the process, deeply understands how the data is structured. And then now we partner with the factory, understands your process, understanding your expertise. How do you think? What are your SOPs? Putting all those things together now provides a very powerful complement to the human experts in the factory.
Yeah.
And it's much more than just the bare model. The model is a component, but it's putting it together with the right knowledge and expertise around the industry, so it really can act like a 15-year experienced quality engineer, which requires all those pieces together, along with the rapid advances in model capability that allows us to take advantage of those pieces.
Okay. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're excited. I think maybe part of what you mentioned earlier is, we're excited. We have some partners that we've worked with over the last year. We had, a nice presentation at our booth earlier today with Fuji, who's one of our partners.
Okay, yep.
And talking about, just the amount of like we said, the investigatory work and the coupling up of these nice technologies that Tim just mentioned. It's been fun. It's fun to see our customers really leaning into that. And really gleaning amazing value from the two systems coming together, working together, and it's directly impactful to our customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, nice.
And the way that Arch has grown is just been fantastic. So what's happening next?
Fun.
Because it has been quite a fast and encouraging journey, hasn't it?
Yeah. We were just talking about this earlier today. I mean, this industry is fascinating this way. It's one of the things that we love about manufacturing. There's so much complexity and there's so much going on in the industry. There's so much low-hanging fruit for gains in productivity in manufacturing, and that's only coupled on top of the fact that we have so many people that have done amazing work in building these systems. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's very exciting. As we look across across the areas that we touch, particularly are we all the way up in like supply chain? No, not. There's areas we're not. But if we just look at the areas of, like we said, on quality and on planning and on the equipment optimization, there's just so many wonderful opportunities for optimization just in these areas. And I think that the AI agents are perfectly positioned for that. Tim could probably speak to that.
Yeah, I think one of the areas that I think is very exciting and is emerging, but is an area where people are seeing new opportunities, is collaborations between the contract manufacturers and their customers. And there's new opportunities where historically data sharing back and forth has been sometimes fraught, and sometimes there's been challenges and barriers. But now there's a new excitement around what if we give both sides data to a third party, have them use AI to then provide an answer back without sharing either side's data with each other. So that new way of sharing information, sharing results between the manufacturer and their customer, when both sides benefit, and both sides don't need to disclose proprietary information to the other side they're not comfortable sharing, but they can share it to an AI system and get back an answer that benefits them both. That's an area that we think in the next couple of years is going to be really exciting.
Yeah. And it's strange because it's, although it's AI, it's actually making companies become more humanized because they're working closer together.
Yeah.
So it's defying everything that people are saying about AI because people are working much closer. They're bonding more. They're relying on other parties. They're seeing the opportunities via an app.
Yeah,
Effectively.
it's phenomenal. I want to add one thing onto what Tim just said. He said, it can provide information to both sides, and it also actually protects both sides in a way that humans kind of can't. They can't be as objective as what you can ask the agent to do.
Yeah.
So it's just phenomenal, like you just said. It's humanizing in an odd way.
In a weird way.
That
yeah,
way, Yeah, it's fantastic.
Brilliant, great stuff. Well,
Fun.
we're excited to see what's happening next because there's always something happening with you guys.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, and we look forward to catching up with you again. And thank you both for your time. And I hope you have a brilliant rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Claire.
very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you.